Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from MRC Newsbusters, America's Media Watchdog, celebrating 20 years. Good for them. This is dated October 30th. It says, Complicit. ABC, CBS, and NBC suppress bombshell documents on Arctic frost scandal. And I said yesterday that the total amount of time that has been given to this scandal by the mainstream news networks, which would be the three that I just named, is this number right here. You can see in the little screenshot, the little picture. So it says, as political scandals go, Arctic frost makes Watergate look like relative child's play. During the Biden administration, the FBI may have investigated Republican elected officials and conservative organizations, doing so, in many cases, with invasive and secret subpoenas. The breadth and scope of this scandal is staggering, and yet the legacy broadcast news continues to suppress the story, just as they've done with every other story that is a threat to the prospects of Democrats seizing or holding power. Yep, there's a reason they haven't brought it up, is because they want you to be misinformed. So next time that MSNBC viewer says to you, like, what are you talking about when you say, like, did you know about this? Be like, yeah, they're not informed. And I guarantee you nobody that watches CNN or MSNBC with any sort of regularity has any idea this is actually a thing. Or, of course, ABC, NBC, and CBS as well. So it says, per the New York Post, more than 160 Republicans, so now we're up to 160. Yesterday's article said 150. I think the one before that said like 120 something. There's more than 160 Republicans, including Trump administration officials, may have been investigated by the FBI under former President Joe Biden as part of the Bureau's sweeping Arctic frost probe, documents show. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino, U.S. Pardon Attorney Ed Martin, and White House Trade Advisor Peter Navarro are among the prominent GOP figures named in FBI files released by the House Judiciary Committee on Tuesday, detailing the massive scope of the Biden-area Justice Department's investigation into allegations of 2020 election interference. There's former Attorney General Merrick Garland, ex-Assistant Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco, and former FBI Director Christopher Wray all signed off on the investigation in conservative groups and Trump allies in April of 2022. A memo released last week by Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, showed. So it says, our own Curtis Hoog, and that's Newsbusters' own Curtis Hoog, noted earlier today that the legacy media newscasts and morning shows had until this point suppressed the story. Since then, several new details have broken. Today it was revealed that the list of known Arctic frost targets continues to expand. Okay, that would explain why each of these three articles, even though they came out, hold on, one more side, like within probably somewhere near 24 hours of each other, it keeps changing the amount of people that were affected. It says Florida Senator Rick Scott has revealed that he was also targeted by Jack Smith et al. And there's Rick Scott's tweet about it. It says there's also Newsmax's own Ed Henry disclosing a Jack Smith secret subpoena ordering Apple to release sensitive information such as his social security number and finances related to the J6 prison choir. And here is that as well. His tweet, we'll skip down, says, and yet there was nothing about this on any of the national network newscasts, nothing on ABC, CBS, or NBC. You find that appalling, don't you? I mean, if this was like an actual Watergate thing, or if this was a Republican president like Trump doing this to Biden or Obama, these networks wouldn't shut the hell up about it. Not a chance. And now when it's Biden or, people that they're basically friends with, they're just like, nothing happened. Okay, it says, we checked and found nothing on Univision or Telemundo either. And this is quite clearly by design. And it says, editor's note, there was no Arctic frost reporting on Friday's morning shows on ABC, CBS, and NBC. So quite literally nothing at all. So as a quick review of last week's evening news, find that the consensus top story was the construction of the White House ballroom. The one that they're throwing a fit over that Trump is paying for with, donated money and not taxpayer money, unlike Obama, who, when he did stuff to the White House, it was in fact taxpayer money, and in fact it cost more. So today's top stories were a combination of the weather event hitting the East Coast, with lots of B-roll of flooded New York City subways, Prince Andrew getting stripped of his royal status, and SNAP benefits potentially expiring due to the ongoing government shutdown. And yet, there was absolutely nothing on a weaponization of government so grotesquely over the top that it seems typical of a work of fiction. So the same media that decry retribution when those who weaponize government face justice now shamefully hold their tongues as we collectively discover that the retribution was here all along and executed by the Biden administration. It says, as we always say, if it weren't for double standards, there'd be none at all. So there you go. I mean, it's another article about the same thing from the last couple of days, but this just shows you that, not only, the last two articles said, who was affected by it, this saying that the news just doesn't want to report it at all. So, yeah, There you go. It's just an absolute dereliction of duty by the mainstream media not to mention this. And at some point, though, if this gets worse and worse, they're going to have to report on it. Or they're going to get called out probably so hard. And I mean, I'm surprised about CBS, though, with Barry Weiss taking over. But I'm sure that'll change because of that on CBS. But at ABC and NBC, who knows? But just, again, an absolute dereliction of duty by the mainstream media. So let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.